I'm so excited to be having wonderful people here for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the entire year. And I love cooking it, I love eating it, and it's quite wonderful. And tonight will be no exception. And so for Thanksgiving, everybody pitches in. So you'll see the cheese platter, which looks exquisite, Brent did, although it's under my tutelage, I have to say. And Dano's busy slicing bread, and it's all hands on deck for Thanksgiving. We are starting with a fabulous spinach salad with fennel and pomegranate seeds, and on top of the salads we have little tiny savory pumpkin custards with walnuts. And then we've got lots of vegetables. Of course, there's a roast turkey, and this year I did a roast ham, a baked ham as well, and the ham is glazed with a bourbon pecan molasses brown sugar glaze. One of my favorite guests requested ham, and so it wasn't instead of turkey, it was in addition to turkey. And I did stuffing, as I always do, for my mother's recipe using cornbread, but what I did this year is I'm baking the stuffing in muffin cups. We also have roasted Brussels sprouts, baby squash, and zucchini that is stuffed with chopped zucchini, mushroom, cheeses, and a little bit of cream. My Thanksgiving dinner covers all the bases that would be included in traditional, but I do it always with a twist. I make a gingerbread pumpkin mousse trifle. I didn't make an apple pie. I made an apple raisin pecan bourbon laced spice cake frosted with a caramel cream cheese frosting. Thanksgiving, we also think about lots of fruit of the season, and I have beautiful, beautiful crinkled pears that take 2 hours to bake. Of course, there is got to be a dessert with cranberries, so I made cranberry and white chocolate chip cookies. The interesting thing I think about the table, because someone looked at it earlier in the day and said to me, did you have to go and buy a lot of things for the table? And I said, absolutely not. Every single item on that table is something that I have in my collection that I have acquired over the years. And so one of the things you're going to see on the table is 3 different types of bone china, some of it very old, but it's things I've used and had for many, many, many years. The candlesticks and the silver serving pieces come from my mother. And then all of the animals and objects are just beautiful objects that I've collected, and you would see them if you walked around my house. So when I'm doing a table, I walk around my house and look at all the beautiful things that I already have and think what would be fun to include. What would be amusing? What would make my guests smile? What would make them curious? What would be a conversation point? And that's how I build the table. You talked about shoes? Whoops, okay. They are by Roger Vivier.
Beautiful.
And that's a very iconic heel from Roger Vivier. And the interesting story, one of the interesting stories about the shoes is I was a guest lecturer at USC in the business school in the master taxation class. It was a very serious topic that I was there to talk about. And the first thing the professor introducing me said to his class was, before I tell you about Judith, I want everybody to take a look at her shoes. These were the shoes I was wearing. So I sat on the desk and I kicked up my legs and I showed my shoes. And from that moment on, I had the audience. I'm drinking a beautiful French rosé that I think is light and goes kind of with everything. We're also going to be pouring champagne and also a poulet-foussé if somebody wants. And anything else that anybody wants, my liquor cabinet is fully stocked.
And top shelf. And top shelf.
So, yes. At one point it looked like I was going to have somebody here who only drinks scotch, which would have been fine. Scotch with every course is okay with me. As long as my guests are happy, I think it's all wonderful.
So if you pour it like this, it gets a little bit of air into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of gets a little bit of air into it.
This is, do you want to guess? Do you want to guess?
The turkey!
Oh, looks gorgeous too.
It's nice.
Yeah. I think we need the baster though, and then to make sure it's going to stay moist. Doesn't that look
Beautiful.
gorgeous?
Wow, it's drizzling. Wow.
Okay, we cover it back up. Let it sit. Yeah, I think something comes out. I got one. Ooh, hot. Have you ever had stuffing?
Good.
This is made with cornbread, wheat bread, white bread, pecans. It's stuffing, and normally you make stuffing in a big pot, but I did them in individual muffin tins.